I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to stop relying on others and become your own support system. Because one of the beliefs that I truly have is that yes, we need to be humble. Yes, we need to learn from the people around us. But at the same time though, we need to learn to become our own person. And if we don't learn to become our own person, what I believe is going to happen is that we're going to leave ourselves feeling drained, disempowered, disconnected from who we truly are. And so I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to balance being connected to your empowerment, feeling powerful, feeling independent, but at the same time though, understanding that also you can have those support systems, you could say, and you could have these things around you that on some level we do really need. I'm going to share with you in this video how exactly to do that. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, all the details for that will be down below. Now, what I want to share with you to start off this video is an understanding that yes, we need to become independent. Yes, we need to be our own support system. But at the same time though, you know what's really interesting that I think a lot of people simply don't honor is that no matter what, no matter how independent you become, no matter how individual you think you are, we're also interconnected with everything. So my invitation is to stop doing it alone. Because alone, in a way, depending on the perspective that you want to have, doesn't really exist. See, the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is that everything that you've ever learned came from somebody. It came from something that was not yours. It came from somewhere. It came from, you got it. So no matter how alone that we think we truly are, what I've come to realize is that everything that we know ourselves to be, any skills that we've gained, anything that was passed down to us from family, from mentors, from friends, the thing to consider is that actually you got it from somewhere. So you got to be arrogant enough in a way to kind of be like, you know what, I am the best at everything that I do. You know, some people are afraid to have that level of arrogance, to say that, you know what, no matter what I do, I am the best. And that's good. I think that's a healthy level of arrogance. But you don't want to be so arrogant that actually now, you know what you're doing is that now you don't learn from others. Because I believe that learning and learning from others is absolutely one thing that you never want to stop doing in your life. You never want to stop learning. You never want to stop growing. You never want to stop developing. And you never want to think that you have to do it all by yourself. Now, on the contrary, on the flip side, I'm also not saying to not be independent. To not be independent, because being independent is one of the most important things that you absolutely need in your life. So I want you to understand that there's a simultaneous balancing act where on the one end, you are an individual. The collective starts with the individual. But at the same time though, you are not alone. There's people, there's beings around you. And I think that the moment that you start to dishonor anything or anyone that is around you, really what's happening is that you're dishonoring a piece of yourself. So it's important to understand that you want to learn to respect and honor the people, the situations, the things that are around you. To honor, to respect. What does this mean, to honor, to respect? It means that you are aware that you are not just an individual, okay? So that's the first step to stop relying on others and become your own support system, is to become conscious, to become alert, to become aware of the fact, the cold and even a little bit warm, hard fact that you are interconnected with everything. Okay, everything. Now what I'm going to share with you as well, if you truly want to stop relying on others and to become your own support system, one of the most important things that you truly need is self-trust. Okay, self-trust. I personally believe that self-trust is one of the most important things and assets in your life. Okay, because, for example, money comes and goes, okay? Relationships come and go. Physical living locations even, they come and they go. And I'm not saying that these things aren't something that you should value. I mean, really, I can't tell you what you should or shouldn't value. But what I'm saying is that even if you don't value, okay, if you value these things, you're going to have a higher probability chance of having these things in your life if you have self-trust. It all begins with self-trust. Without self-trust, you're going to have a hard time maintaining that financial abundance that you want. You're going to have a hard time maintaining that relationship that you want. You're not going to be able to sustain yourself if you don't have self-trust. I believe personally that self-trust is the highest asset in your life. If you don't have self-trust, you're more likely to find a way to mess up your financial situation. You're more likely to mess up that relationship that you're in. So these things can happen in our life. And these things can come and they can go. But one thing that you'll never lose in your life is your self-trust. You will never lose self-trust. You can always fall back on self-trust. You can always fall back on that trust that you deserve to have. See, when you don't have self-trust, what do you really have? What do you really have if you don't have self-trust? So what I want to conclude this video with is the understanding that if you lie to yourself on your word, really what you're doing is you're lying to others. That's what you are doing. See, every single time you say you're going to show up for somebody and you don't show up, you're going to suffer the consequences of that decision. So the most important thing that I found is to live with integrity, to live with alignment. So if I say I'm gonna do something in my life, I do it. Okay? And so the thing is that, 90% of success, 90% of building something, building yourself to be something, uplifting yourself, uplifting others along with you, to get out of the pattern of bringing yourself down. 90% of this, in my personal experience, is simply showing up. That's it. Just show up. You don't have to be perfect. You can tell yourself that you are the best. Have a little bit of arrogance in that sense. But what's going to happen is that you're going to realize that showing up for yourself is invaluable. It's invaluable because what happens is that when you learn to show up for yourself, when you learn to be the person that you want to be, when you learn to show up, just show up, there's going to be mistakes, there's probably going to be challenges, there's probably going to be things that don't go the way that you anticipated, but you know what? You simply show up. See, if you can't show up for yourself, okay? If you can't be that person that you say you are going to be, how are you going to show up for others? How are you going to lead others? How are you going to mentor others? How are you going to be of value and service and beneficial to society, to the development of society, if you can't show up? You know, I've come to realize that if you want to become a master at something, if you just want to be average even, if you just want to succeed in any area, you just need to show up. That's all it actually is. Most of the times is you just gotta show up, you know? Because you can't always be perfect. But what you can do is be integral. Follow through with your word. You know, if you see somebody consistently not following through with their word in a particular area of their life, you can pretty much already see that they're not going to be following through in many other areas of their life. If they can't keep your word to you, guess what? They themselves can't keep their word to themselves. So if you're beginning not to trust them, and you're beginning not to trust the person, probably rightfully so, because they are going to suffer more than you. So this is not an attack, it's just simply something to be aware of, that oftentimes what we do is we forget the importance of self-trust, of integrity. Like, I really do believe that integrity and self-trust is something that I value more than anything else in my life. It's got to be one of my top values, is discipline, is self-trust. Because pain is, and the challenges and obstacles and negativity is bound to come up in your life at some point. Things are going to try to pull you off your path, and sometimes they actually will perhaps pull you off your path. But again, your security lies in your self-trust. That's what I truly believe. So if you want to stop relying on others, if you want to become your own support system, if you want to be an independent thinker, if you want to be your own person, you gotta have self-trust. If you don't have self-trust, what do you really have? Okay, and with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, all the details for that will be down below. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.